I'm Wesley Morris, and this is Cannonball. Today, we're going from the highest to the lowest. I never think of Spike Lee as a summer movie filmmaker, but I'm an idiot because I'm sitting here and it's occurring to me that this is a summer movie man. It's been true more or less for 40 years. A lot of his movies have come out in the summer. I was there. I saw them. His masterpiece, obviously, Do the Right Thing.
You the man. No, you the man. No, you the man.
But also My Better Blues. Jungle Fever.
She's white.
White. One of my favorite Spike Lee movies is called Summer of Sam. And it actually came out in the summer of 1999. Black Klansman, summer movie. And now we've got highest to lowest, highest to lowest. It hit theaters last week and will start streaming on Apple TV Plus September 5th. Okay, this movie feels like right now to me.
I know what that means, to have nothing and want everything.
I should warn you before we go any further. There's no way to talk about how right now it is without laying out the whole plot, which is ridiculous. But in order for you to understand how ridiculous this movie is, you gotta lay out the entire thing. So it's kind of what I'm gonna have to do. But trust me, it'll be worth it. The movie is loosely a remake of an Akira Kurosawa suspense thriller classic High and Low, which came out in 1963. That was based on an Ed McBain novel called King's Ransom, and this movie, highest to lowest, brings Spike Lee back together again with Denzel Washington. I think this is number 5 for them. Denzel plays David King, record executive who's got to decide whether to spend all of his capital to stop his label from being eaten by some bigger fish, or pay the ransom to the dude who kidnapped the son of his right-hand man, who's played by Jeffrey Wright. You are not gonna believe who the kidnapper turns out to be. We're gonna spoil that too. Like all Spike Lee joints, this one's doing the most. It's deeply New York, but it's also seriously thinking about what black people at the top owe black people at the bottom. I watched this movie and I thought, you know who's probably got a lot of feelings about, first, how New York it is, and then about the politics of its blackness. Vinson Cunningham.
My God, what a hairline.
Vinson's one of our finest critics of theater, sports, television, TV ads, of life. As of last year, he's also a novelist of Great Expectations. That's the title of the book, and it's out. You should get it. He's also the co-host of the podcast Critics at Large, a New Yorker joint, where Vinson's also a staff writer. Vinson.
Hey.
Welcome to Cannonball.
Thank you for that.
I don't know. I was sitting there and I was like, I don't people I could talk to about this, but I want to know what Vincent thinks. I mean, how did this movie make you feel? And where would you situate it in your Spike Lee movie feelings?
First of all, it made me feel rare joy. Classic Spike Lee. Too much is happening.
Too much!
And so it's just a great place to think about Spike Lee, but also to enjoy another late stage great, Denzel Washington.
How does this man do it? Okay, so I just want to set this up a little bit.
Please.
The opening shot of this thing is a panoramic, I don't know, either copter shot or drone shot. It's 2025. Why pay the money for a chopper when you can get a drone? But it's very well done.
Yes.
Where the camera is coming from one end of Brooklyn to another end. You're winding up in Dumbo, which is the place where all the tourists go to take the pictures between the Manhattan Bridge and the Brooklyn Bridge on the ground. But Denzel Washington's character, David King, lives with his wife and son in this new building, 30 Front Street, which is basically a bunch, how will we describe this?
It's a Jenga tower of balconies.
It is basically a bunch of balconies just dropped on top of each other. That's a great description. And the camera just sort of zooms right on into the top floor where Denzel lives. He is highest at this moment.
And another thing about this scene is, again, this is Spike Lee maximalism. As you're getting this panorama of the city and of the newly glittery Brooklyn, it's going, oh, what a beautiful morning. It's like
Norm Lewis.
It's ridiculous.
The Norm Lewis is singing like the opening number from Oklahoma.
It's like, if you want to know that this guy has a good life, there are many different ways to find that out. You can hear it. You can see it. If you could smell it, Spike Lee would make you smell it. Every sense is employed in just to tell you this is a guy literally and figuratively on top of the world.
Yes. Denzel looks great.
He does. Sort of the point of the movie is that he looks great.
He has been Beijinged within an inch of his life.
I've never seen Denzel. I've seen him do everything. I've never seen him have this much hairline.
Yes.
My God, what a hairline.
And it is ebony.
As black as night.
I mean, you could. It's the waves from Moonlight, right? The waves from the end of Moonlight are on his head.
That's right.
And they are so black they are blue.
And the hairline was made with a protractor. Can I talk about a right angle?
LeBron James is studying this hairline. I'm telling you.
Yes. Whoever did it, shout out to you. The magic of cinema.
But basically, we are watching a man. We are meant to take in the scope of the apartment, which is it's enormous, and we're meant to sort of savor the art direction, the fruit bowls, the Basquiat on the wall,
and Kehinde Wiley and every other black painter you can name.
There's a giant portrait of Toni Morrison. I don't know. I mean, parenthetically, could you live in this apartment? You could. Okay.
I can't live on a. First of all, any place that has a balcony that high, too much. Yeah. If it's going to be that high, I can't have a balcony.
Fair.
I can't live like that.
But it's also worth getting into the idea that this is, as I said, it's based on a Kurosawa movie, taken from an Epic Bay novel. Have you seen the Kurosawa movie? I
had seen it in college, and I watched it again almost directly after seeing Highest to Lowest, because I too wanted to see kind of what are the similarities, but also what are the differing priorities.
I also watched it again. I hadn't seen that movie since I was in college. And we should just set up exactly what the Akira Kurosawa movie and the Spike Lee movie have in common. They're basically both about two businessmen who are about to make a big, expensive business deal, who realize that their son is kidnapped, except, oops.
It's the son actually of their employee.
Right.
And they're both at moments of maximum financial sort of precarity. They've leveraged all their money to try to like do a corporate maneuver, and paying the ransom for this kid who is, it turns out, not theirs, will require them to put all of this corporate maneuvering in jeopardy. So it becomes kind of a morality play in both cases.
What do I do? Do I make this deal, or do I make this other deal to get this kid back?
Yeah.
In the Kurosawa movie, we're talking about like a guy who works for a big shoe company, and he runs one of the big factories that makes the shoes.
Shoe magnate.
He wants to take over the entire company. Denzel is the record executive. Wait, who do you think Denzel is here?
Well, unfortunately, he's
a
Sean
conglomerate.
Combs.
Right. I mean,
he's Sean Combs and Barry Gordy.
Right. He's puffy. Is he Clarence Avant? I mean, there's just so many. Is he L.A. Reid?
He's
not quite L.A. Reid, but I mean, he's like a composite. But the puffiness, I think that Puffy is the person who stands out as being the most likely culprit.
Part of the music, but also on the production side, and also the business genius, hitting all of the sort of zones of production. You know, he's made his fortune by building this company. And the question is, does he sell it out, or does he, take it under his own control truly and bring it back to its roots?
Right. The structure of the two movies are the same. They decide, the protagonist decides that he is going to pay the ransom.
Do the right thing.
Yes.
Yes. In the Kurosawa film, Mifune basically, you could have just written on his face the anguish of the decision, and then one day he just comes out and says, I have decided, I will pay the ransom, blah, blah,
I'm
blah.
a good Japanese man. I know what to do.
There you go. Denzel can't do this. He has to go through the dark night of the soul.
Does he want to buy his record label back from being merged with some much larger conglomeration?
Yeah.
Or is he going to use all that money? Basically, we're told all the money he has, all the capital he has.
Right.
Like he's going to mortgage that apartment and use whatever savings they have to do this.
To buy the record company that is, there's already been a sale made. The ink is almost dry. They're going to sell the record company to some, it sounds like, larger conglomerate.
Yeah.
And he wants to actually take it over so he can get back to basics and again, make authentic
real music.
So
music.
Even though he's the rich guy, his aesthetics, at least to himself, are, I want to get back to the root of, wherever, whatever the soul is that Black music comes from, I want to reclaim that.
That is a great way to set up what I think is the second wildest scene in the movie. Maybe the third wildest scene in the movie.
There's so many wild scenes.
Denzel is performing the struggle over whether or not to pay this ransom.
That's right.
He's sitting in his office.
That's right.
And he's just like looking around at the photographs.
There are photographs, one of which is of a young Denzel Washington, which has been sort of put on the cover of, I'm pretty sure, Rolling Stone magazine.
Did that really? Wow.
That was crazy.
Oh my God. Talk about what you forget, because it's looking good right now. But you get reminded of what 1989 Denzel looked like.
Smoldering.
That era of Denzel. Ugh. So anyway, there's a mocked up Rolling Stone.
And he's looking around at these photographs of basically heroes of the Black past. And he's looking around, making outward, like, audible to us appeals to, like, Aretha, what would you do? Whoever,
And there's, classic Spike Lee, when someone is addressed, you get a full-on close-up of the thing, of the object,
that's right,
person, whatever. It doesn't matter what it is. He is going to give you a beautiful close-up of it.
That's right. And a photograph of his former self. And this is where the movie...
He makes the two of them talk to each other.
That's right. And so it is really an appeal to the... You mentioned the sort of joint filmography of both of these men. You can't miss that Denzel slams the desk at one point, just like Denzel as Malcolm X once did.
He gives you that stutter edit where he does it once and then he immediately does it again.
That's right. Yeah, it's an appeal to what I think is the similarity. If you want to read this film autobiographically,
interesting.
David King might also be a stand-in for Spike Lee in that, okay, who's more on top of who goes to every Knicks game? The Knicks just went to the Eastern Conference Finals of the in the NBA playoffs, and Spike's there at courtside. Nobody's got a better life.
He
at
did
least
miss
outwardly.
one important game because he was doing this movie in Cannes. He was like pitching this movie in Cannes, but
so like, and Spike Lee comes from a Black, certainly artistic milieu. His father's a jazz musician, but a middle class milieu. And
in Fort Greene, Brooklyn.
And is now the kind of guy who's either on the sidelines at Madison Square Garden or in Martha's Vineyard, right? And I do think this movie is about what does he owe to Black people broadly, but to the Black masses perhaps particularly. It's like everything that I've done, these representations that I've helped bring into being, including Denzel Washington as Malcolm X, right? What does it mean? What does it add up to in terms of my debt? Have I paid it by the spectacle of my own success? Or is there something more that I owe? And you see David King going through this, snapping his head, smacking the desk, talking to himself, and he can't make the right decision until he has had this discourse with, like, the Black host of witnesses that have preceded him.
James, what should I do? Close up of James Brown.
That's right.
Stevie, what do I do?
That's right.
Close up of Stevie Wonder. Aretha, talk to me.
Talk to me.
What should I do? And then it just, I mean, for shits and giggles, Jimmy, tell me, what should my Black soul do? And you get a shot of Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah.
It is extraordinarily excessive. And I love that you are connecting this to Spike Lee and his idea of himself and these questions about what he's achieved at this point. Because we're like, this is a kind of legacy question. And we should say that the camera for this scene is like up in the ceiling.
Yeah.
These are not close-ups of Denzel. We're kind of like surveilling this moment.
Yeah.
This is a private moment that we might not be meant to see.
Yeah, this is the CCTV feed of the office. Yeah.
Right. And I just really like the distance from which it is happening. It is almost like God watching, but also, an audience bearing witness to the inner struggles of an elite black man, which are of course interrupted by the police. And when he comes in, he has a total masculinity moment where he's just like, "Yeah, I was I don't know, just like summer colds. What you gonna do? Summer colds."
Meanwhile, he's weeping to his ancestors or whatever. Yeah,
like just crying for our people, to his people. I really think this moment. I wish we could have watched it together. I laughed so much.
I was howling.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But it is also it is moving in that you understand what it is meant to, you understand the work it is meant to do.
Yeah. It really sets up the rest of the movie in this beautiful way. It's not incidental. It's so important that he's making these appeals to Jimi Hendrix, to James Brown, his notion of black authenticity, his notions of where the soul of the people is kind of kept, is different from later on. We're going to get into like the world of hip hop, right? And somehow this has huge stakes.
I think this is what you've identified is like a classic Spike Lee tension that has really, 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 really come to sit at the soul of this movie.
Yeah.
And I mean, the Jeffrey Wright character is there as a signifier of some kind of reminder to the Denzel Washington character of where he's come from.
Yeah.
The Jeffrey Wright character is going to prison.
Yes.
We don't know why.
We don't know.
We don't know. I mean, there's a world in which, I mean, nobody said this, but like, was it for Denzel? Do you know what I mean? Like,
it could have been.
Like, this is a guy who he's a practicing Muslim, also a devoted friend. And he is experiencing this friend of his, this person he's devoted a lot of his time and life to, struggle about whether or not to like do him like in some ways an ultimate favor.
Right.
But then the other nugget of the tension here is between Denzel Washington's character, the record executive, and the kidnapper.
Yes.
Who we don't know. Did you think for a little while that it was Jeffrey Wright? Did Jeffrey Wright was involved in the kidnapping?
Unfortunately, I did know the cast of this movie, so I knew who at least the main kidnapper
I didn't know.
was. You didn't know that was going to be him?
I didn't know. I didn't know anything.
It turns out, of course, that he is not the kidnapper, and I think we can continue to prolong the reveal of this.
I want to talk about the scene.
Okay.
Because I will set it up to just say, we know at about like an hour in, we know a lot of things. We know that it's Jeffrey Wright's son, not Trey, Denzel Washington's son, who comes back home and is like, "Dad, you know, you claim to be of the people, but
That's right.
you're not going to help get Kyle away from these kidnappers? Yeah. This is insane."
Yeah.
I mean, Denzel Washington gets called all kinds of like bitch ass N-word, pussy ass N-word. I've never heard anybody, even the KKK, talk to Denzel Washington as bad as the black people in this movie.
It's true. But you need that. There is like a sort of racial shaming. It's like, I've looked up to you. So what you gonna do?
I will yada 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 us to a moment where Denzel has done this transfer. There is still 45 minutes left to go in this movie. Jeffrey Wright gets his son back. The son is recovering in the hospital, and the police are shaking him down.
Yeah.
Like, do you remember anything? Do you know anything? Does anything stand out? And the son is like, oh my God, I don't know. I feel like I mean, I think there was like, oh man, I think there was this song and I heard it, I don't know, and I can still kind of remember it was like back to the trunk, from the trunk to the back.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was. I can remember. I can still hear it.
Yeah, it was like, don't.
So Denzel is like out one day listening to a playlist that his son made. Finally. parenthetically, his son has been pushing on him all these artists all this time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Dad, you should look at this person.
With the insistence that only an entitled Nepo baby could have. He's like, I got the next big thing for you, Dad. And he wants them to take him seriously.
Yes. And one of the songs on the playlist, he can, wait, what? Well, I mean, back to the front. What? Is it? What? Blasts into poor Kyle's hospital room and is like, is this it?
Is this the song?
Is this the song? And Kyle's like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
I want to prolong the suspense in the world of this conversation, just to say that Denzel Washington, because the cops are like, they are not taking his clue seriously. Mm-hmm. So Denzel and Jeffrey just hook up and they're like, you know what? We got this. Mm-hmm. We can go find this kidnapper. Let's go get him.
Yeah.
And it really is one of the most exciting things that happens in this movie. Like the idea that Jeffrey Wright and Denzel are just gonna
be vigilantes. Yeah,
they go off on this redemption ride to what song? Do you remember what the needle drop on that trip is?
The Big Payback.
I mean,
and they are just jamming.
They're like, Denzel is shadow boxing in the car. Like
Jeffrey Wright takes out a gun and he's like,
what is that? Insurance. That's Jake from State Farm.
They're making jokes. They are, it's actually insane. And they're dead ass serious. They're gonna get this money back by themselves.
It is. Spike Lee. We don't have a word for what this is. I mean, I guess we don't really have a word for what black too muchness is. I mean, we have all kinds of words, right? Like extra, too much, went too far, but I really want, because camp isn't quite it. Like black camp doesn't satisfy me.
No, it's more than that.
It's more than that. Where like in the world of a black work of art or culture, you are getting like so much more than you need. It's camp adjacent, but it's black.
What I kept thinking about was it's almost classically expressionistic.
Yes.
It's trying to put emotional states in their full, vivid color.
But it's also like in this scene, it's like two boys. It's just like do you understand how high the stakes are right now?
It's
one of y'all could die, if not both of you. Because y'all are going to boogie down to what? Like show pieces to each other?
To what is the question? They don't ever say, we're gonna kill this motherfucker. I'm gonna show him this gun and he's gonna give him.
What is this shadow boxing really gonna accomplish? They
just want a confrontation. It's incredible.
But I think it's such an amazing moment because it's not just that Denzel and Jeffrey Wright like pull up to this Bronx studio where the kidnapper is currently recording at 2 a.m. after stopping by the kidnapper's girlfriend's house where she's like, oh, he loves you so much. He named our son. I let him name our son David or King after you.
Yeah.
He loves you. She has no idea, by the way, what's going on.
He keeps talking about how one day he's going to meet you and you're all going to make music together and that's going to be that.
Dreams are going to come true. And Denzel gets in the studio. He sits at the control board. Now, remember, this is a world-class, billion-dollar producer at this point. Like, reams of hits. And we can see in the studio at the microphone is none other than Vincent. Just say it.
It's A$AP Rocky. It's A$AP Rocky. And he's so in the zone that he doesn't even know that behind the glass is the man after whom he has named his only child.
What precedes is truly, this is not one of the great Spike Lee movies, but this is one of the great Spike Lee sequences in a movie. One of the great Spike Lee passages in a Spike Lee movie.
Yeah.
This one is up there.
Yeah.
Because basically, A$AP Rocky is laying down a track. And Denzel is like, he announces himself by pressing the button, and now he is audible in the studio. And he's like, you know what? You can make this song better. You might want to consider just doing a little ad-libbing and like layering the vocal a little bit.
It sounds kind of like an argument in favor of more musicality.
Yeah.
Which is such a black boomer request of rap.
Yep.
Where's the melody? What's the tune, brother? Yeah. A$AP Rocky's like, what?
I mean, and so now A$AP Rocky knows that the person whose son he tried to steal and, you know, got this $17.5 million in Swiss francs from is now sitting in the studio making his dream come true. This is the thing he wanted to happen.
This is it.
10 years ago.
Yeah.
But it never did. But now...
And all he had to do was mistakenly kidnap somebody else's son. And here we are.
But the great thing about this scene is the Denzel Washington character is actually trying to produce this record. How Denzel and A$AP communicate to each other is basically in verse.
Yes.
They are rapping to each other both about what needs to happen for this song to be better, but also for what led us to this point.
Right.
Right? Like how I got to be on one side of the glass and you got to be on the other side of the glass.
Which, okay, so now let's talk again about this whatever quality we're talking about, which is like this extraness. This is happening. It's on the one hand the corniest thing that's ever happened in the history of cinema, right?
I don't know.
He's like, show me where my money at.
Yeah.
Da-da-da-da-da.
He's like interpolating Nas at some point.
It's incredible. But it also reminded me, and now go back to The Dark Night of the Soul.
In The Office, the scene in The Office with him pleading to Stevie and Aretha and Jimmy to help.
And think of that as soliloquy and go back. This is like, I'm like, oh, wait. Is Spike doing Shakespeare?
Yes, 100%.
All of a sudden, it's rhyming couplets, it's collaborative language, but also a confrontation. And again, it's it's a sort of outward splattering of emotional states that can only be finally consummated by a clash.
Yes.
And it's like, this is high classicism at the same time as it's really...
Class clashing.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But this goes on for like 5 minutes.
Every time you think you're like uncomfortable with the scene and you're like, they're going to cut. We're going to cut to the police, please. They're like, no. I got 16 more bars for you.
But I really love this sequence because you are right. It is the what is the line from Oh What a Beautiful Day that opens the movie? It's like the corn is piled as high
in the meadow.
Yeah. Like the corn is like flooding the studio right now. But it also is really getting at what the sort of moral tensions are here between who made it and who didn't make it. The point here is that the kidnapping happens to make a point to David King that he had a chance to sign this kid.
You could have listened to that playlist months ago.
Yeah. He could have listened to that and signed him. This would never have happened. Yeah. But instead, here we are. I feel like this opens the movie up into this really new, strange territory where a black taste-making gatekeeper and a young upstart who, in the world of the movie, feels he deserves more than he's been given. And I'm curious what you think is happening here in this exchange.
Well, it's so interesting in both directions. Think about it from the perspective of Yung Felon, A$AP Rocky.
Did we even mention that his name is Yung
I'm so
Felon?
sorry.
He
Also,
goes
his name
by
has to
Yung
be
Felon.
Yung Felon.
It can only be Yungfelon.
That's right.
I mean, this is what are we doing?
Unreal.
It has to be Yung Felon in the world of this movie.
The fact that he obsesses over, right, and lionizes this figure before he becomes sort of alienated against him and has to, he gets radicalized and has to do this kidnapping. He's following a pattern that we see all the time. Part of the structure of hip hop has been, especially into its maturities, you go into like the late 90s into the 2000s, young kids without much social capital or actual capital looking at and rooting on the mostly financial exploits of people who they still identify with.
Mm-hmm.
Jay-Z's from where I'm from, but he's also
now
you name it. Now he's a
Right.
billionaire.
Right.
We mentioned Puffy, same trajectory. That the class ascension, the acquisition of capital, is almost as much the like locus of fanhood as the music itself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so that's really interesting that somebody's finally had enough of that. That Yung Felon's like, no, I watched you and I looked up to you and I hoped I could be like you, but something about that cracked.
Mm-hmm.
On some level, it's like it's got shades of Luigi Mangione. It's like
Mm-hmm.
all of a sudden
Mm-hmm.
the world is not working for me, and I'm pissed off about it, and I'm going to burst through the veneer. I'm going to burst through the sort of fellow feeling I'm supposed to have with you and illustrate our differences.
Well, I think that this is about how you didn't pull me up with you.
Mm.
And I'm assuming if Yung Felon is such a fan of David King, he can see what this label's priorities are. Like, he can see that, like, it might be forsaking him. You know, the studio confrontation between David King and Yung Felon is just the first one.
Yes.
Then he cops a plea, gets a 25-year sentence. And between the sentencing and one of the final two scenes of the movie, Spike Lee gives us A$AP Rocky doing trunks in a music video.
There's some young ladies shaking their asses behind him.
Twerkathon happening all around him. And split screen is David King taking this in. This is a fever dream in the world of the movie. This is Denzel Washington granting Yung Felon's request to come see him in prison.
Mm-hmm.
Come see about me. He does it. But before we get this confrontation, we get this music video. And the split screen is meant to then mirror what happens once they get, to the actual prison, and Yung Felon is on one side of the glass and David King's on the other side. But in the world of this musical interlude, what you see is Denzel Washington on the right side of the frame,
Mm-hmm.
making just like, I mean, Vincent, you will have to like hold your tummy when I say it, but he's making Cliff Huxtable faces, right? He is making faces to me that are really Cosby-esque.
I hadn't thought about it like that, but
And
it's
I mean, he
true.
is like,
Yeah.
like, what is this? Isn't jazz?
Yeah.
And we have already heard Denzel say that 25 years, not enough time. He should be serving more.
That's right.
And there is something about the choice that's being made here that feels both this is the most conservative situation Spike Lee has put himself in a movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
This feels like an argument for something. And I'm really curious what you think about the way generational ideas function in Spike Lee. Older people and younger people. It's mostly men.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about older black men
Mhm.
and young black men. I think that this has been going on undercover in a lot of his movies. His movies have really been about mentorship
Mm-hmm.
and tutelage. What a young black man can learn from an older black man.
Mm-hmm.
Classically, Mookie and the Mayor and Do the Right Thing.
Yeah.
Doctor,
Come on, what?
always do the right thing.
That's it?
That's it.
I got it. I'm gone.
In The Five Bloods, there's Delroy Lindo and I believe his son in that movie.
Yep.
See, you just a little jive-ass gangster now, huh?
After everything you put me through, I'd say you're getting a basement bargain.
Yeah, I'm grateful.
Get on the Bus is exclusively about generational tension.
Let there be a lesson to you, young blood. Work hard, graduate from school. White man can't hold you down. I don't care what anybody say. You get your education.
That's right.
And what it means for these older guys to be going to the Million Man March along with the old heads and the kids. In those films, there's both sides, right?
Mm-hmm.
There are two sides in this fight. But one thing that is not present in that education system is prison, right?
Mm-hmm.
That lesson is not happening between a free man and a convicted felon who goes by Yung Felon.
Yeah.
His nom de rap is Yung Felon. And
Has anybody ever said nom de rap before? I hope that's a coinage, and I'm glad it was you.
Let's go with it.
Yeah.
I did not feel good about that. I don't know. What are you thinking?
Well, one of the real world corollaries is that this year, A$AP Rocky, who on the one hand is with a billionaire,
Rihanna.
talk about spanning experience, and on the other hand, he had a trial for a
gun
sort of
possession,
felony assault, gun charge, whatever it was, that was based on a guy that he knew that was a friend from his sort of A$AP mob days, and their relationship fell apart, and there was a confrontation, and A$AP Rocky was totally exonerated. He's not guilty. But another real world corollary is someone who shows the sort of permeability, the quick departures that happen within the sort of Black class society, that these things, especially if you're coming from a certain place, are never quite as far away from one another as one might think. So that was certainly part of the sort of biographical underpinning that I was thinking about. There is like an observation that is based largely not in statistics but in representations, let's say, right? Mm-hmm. There are any number of young drill rappers. Bobby Shmurda, a rapper from Brooklyn, New York, just got back home. There's a pattern, a quickening pattern of these young entertainers bringing street stuff into their music and getting caught based on their lyrics and going to. So whatever. This is a spectacle. This is more a mirage than a statement of what is the state of Black America, mm-hmm, but it is still there. And someone like Spike Lee, whose job has been to manufacture representations of Black life, therefore has to reckon with it. What is this image, and is it one that I'm comfortable with?
But this, to me, is connected to the way I think he has been perceiving a class of young Black men, mm-hmm, as problems to be lectured to, put away. Mm-hmm. It's rare that he even has these people in his movies. And it's telling to me that they've shown up here, and there is real class envy. Mm-hmm. There is a real sense of neglect operating here that the movie isn't exploring, but it's immediately pathologizing and punishing. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, it just kind of bums me out.
Yeah. I'm less bummed out by it, while agreeing with your analysis of it and what it sort of all, quote unquote, means. It's weird because on the one hand, there is a sort of, you mentioned Cosby, and there is a sort of pound cake speech texture.
You said it before I did. I was wondering if you're going to take the bait, but you took it.
Let's
keep fishing.
Yeah. There is like a...
We should say that the speech is essentially, I will boil it all the way down to, boys, pull up your pants.
People getting shot in the back of the head over a piece of pound cake. And then we all run out and we're outraged. Oh, the cop shouldn't have shot him. What the hell was he doing with the pound cake in his hand?
Yes, it's, I think, the classic expression of sort of the negative side of what we call respectability politics. I do admire Spike for using the tools that he has to explore this uncomfortable tension, even if it includes an unavoidable misdiagnosis for somebody who's been famous and wealthy for as long as many of us can remember, right?
You mean Spike?
Well, I'm talking about Spike,
Okay.
but also, again, for me in this movie, Spike very much is David King, right?
Yes,
somebody
yes.
who announces often his closeness to the mass of Black people, but is also materially separate and has to deal with that.
Yes. I mean, the tough thing here is this guy did kidnap somebody and insist on a bunch of money. But I think there's like the relish that the Denzel Washington character feels, right? It isn't like, hey, I want to help you.
Mm-hmm.
I want to nurture you. I'm really not happy about what happened, but listen, waiting for you on the other side of this sentence when you were 60 years old is a record contract.
We got you, man.
This is not the choice that he makes.
No.
He's the one who pulls the bodega gate, so to speak, down on A$AP Rocky. And we get a last sequence of this movie, which might be just one of the worst endings to a Spike Lee movie. I don't know if it's ever, because, you know, the man likes to do something crazy at the end of all his movies.
Mm-hmm.
This one, the wife, the not kidnapped son, and David King.
They're back high up. They're back up in the sky.
They're on top.
It's another beautiful morning.
And they have invited a guest, special guest. Because earlier in the movie, we heard Trey say to David, yo, Dad,
Gotta listen to this music.
gotta listen to this music.
Dad.
I'm with this girl. She is tight.
Yeah.
And she sounds so good. And so, last sequence of the movie, this light-skinned woman is standing at a piano, singing a song, an audition for Trey's daddy. And the song she sings, we find out is called Highest to Lowest. This is like if Amy Winehouse couldn't find the directions to Alicia Keys' house. That is what is happening with this song. It is one of the... It's just so bad.
It's not the best song, but boy, is she singing, though.
She's really giving it to him. But did you feel anything?
And then I didn't feel much, but I will say that David King is feeling something. And he's, again, making his...
He's Cosbying out.
Faces of pleasure, and he's like about to cry, and it's like... And if he's asking Yung Felon for more melody, man, it's like, now that's music. You know what I mean? It's like, now that's music.
That's the thing that really made me sad. Because a choice had been made. He was given an offer, right? Now, okay, again, this is a felon called Yung Felon making this offer. But it is also saying something about where this movie, anyway, thinks music ought to be going. I think it actually, like, awakened me to think about, like, what is going on in the arc of Spike Lee's career. Right? We are watching something that we've never seen before. In that, you know, Spike Lee's been making movies since 1986. It's been almost 40 years. We've never had a Black filmmaker get old on us like this. Like a popular Black filmmaker, right? I mean...
Have a full arc in this
Have
way.
a full arc that, like, rhymes in some ways or corresponds with evolutions that other directors... We've gotten to see other directors age, change, you know, reconsider themselves in some way.
Yeah. And you really get a chance this movie, as you mentioned, get a chance to reflect on some of those older films. The one that I thought I started thinking about was what is perhaps my favorite Spike Lee movie, Bamboozled.
Ah, okay. Yes,
which is all about
yes,
representations and, you know, accidentally stumbling into success with what is a minstrel show. Spike Lee is still deciding what he wants to see, you know?
That's a great way to put it, Vincent.
And even...
That's a great way to put it.
And if he wants to see the girl belting and doing riffs in an old school kind of way back up in the sky, like, what I appreciate about this film is that it's generous for him to let us know that that is what he wants to see. And I mean that.
I receive it.
It's like
that
an
is
essay
generous
by
of
Spike
you.
Lee.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
He's like, you know, I've thought about this. I'm giving this role to A$AP Rocky. I respect this man, and I feel ambivalent about the world that he represents, comes from, and I know that there is a conflict, not just a class conflict, but a conflict of taste and sensibilities that is happening within me. And I want to resolve it. And this film is, I think, indicative and illustrative of that struggle. And so I'm glad to know that he wants to be next to the Toni Morrison painting with the girl over in the living room belting and sounding like something that we've maybe heard before. But that ecstasy of facial gesture that we get from David feels to me like Spike Lee listening to black art. You know, he wants that feeling.
But I wish the song gave me that feeling.
Yes.
And I feel like Spike Lee, I mean, what is he? Late 60s at this point?
I guess so.
This is a guy who, in my absolute favorite Spike Lee movie, Spike Lee is someone who chose not to send a black man to prison. Like, this is the end of Clockers. One of the greatest endings he ever came up with. Just thinking about it might make me cry. It's Mekhi Phifer just on a train.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
He has been rescued from almost certain sentencing imprisonment for murder.
Yeah.
And there's just a shot that we had never seen before of a black man just looking at open space. He's on one side of the glass, and on the other side is not a lecture or punishment, but like vast freedom. And here we are, 30 years later.
And on the other side of
and we're
the
seeing
glasses.
something new from Spike Lee, which is, you know, prison.
But I guess I didn't read prison totally punitively, although of course it was and is, but I did think of it as a representation. Like even Puff Daddy himself is in jail.
Listen.
That jail is part of the, like, it has become so much a part of the black imaginary or whatever that we do have to see it. And his name does have to be Yung Felon, and again, the Jeffrey Wright character who has been in it and has found, 5% Islam there,
right.
and it has like sort of become part of his, moral becoming. And this kid who, even when he's in jail, the A$AP Rocky character is like, this is good for us. Let's make a song.
Right.
So Spike Lee is like looking at what jail is in the imaginary and is trying to sort of question that too. So it's like, yeah, it is this like agent of punishment and judgment, and you can't see the movie without seeing that. But it's also him saying, okay, yeah, I have offered manumission to other people in my movies, but what does it mean for somebody to, like, how do I deal with that? And so I think it matters, therefore, that even the public is on the side of this guy who's now going to jail. It's like, what does this mean? Can I accommodate it?
I guess I would feel better about that if it didn't feel like David King himself was enjoying.
Oh, yeah.
The
big payback.
Right? Exactly. Exactly. That part doesn't really, that part I don't like.
Yeah.
That's the queasy part to me. I don't know. I mean, I feel like this movie worked for you.
Yeah. I can't wait to see it again. Do you not yearn to see this movie again?
I will definitely watch it again.
Yeah.
I'd watch it again because I think that this movie is about something that is greater than the text, right?
Yeah.
Vincent, thanks for doing this.
It's the best. I could do it forever.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me. Just such a thrill. So
what a
cool.
back
so cool.
at you, sir.
This is the best.